I sure can, and I'm so glad that you asked. So, this is in response to the movie review that I did on stream, which is in theaters as of August 21st. And in that review, I talked about how I wanted to see this movie so bad because of all of the horror legends and icons that are in the cast. Starting off with one of my favorite people on this fucking planet, Tony motherfucking Todd. I have been obsessed with this man since I watched Candyman. I think this is his best role. I think this is one of the best roles in horror cinema, period. Candyman is one of my favorite villains, if not honestly my favorite villain, because of Tony Todd, because he's just so sophisticated and enticing. And like, you're supposed to not like him, he's a villain, but you just love him. He plays Candyman in 3 movies and then briefly reappears in the Candyman 2021 version. He also plays the Mortician in the Final Destination franchise. He plays Ben in the Night of the Living Dead remake. And he's in like hundreds and hundreds of other movies. And he is a fucking icon and I'm obsessed with him. And he's in Stream, and when he shows up, because it's kind of like more towards the end, I literally like shed a fucking tear. His voice, his character, everything about this man, I would do anything for him. Arguably the biggest icon, though, in this movie is Dee Wallace. Dee Wallace played the mother in E.T. My favorite role of Dee Wallace's, another mother role, is the mother in Cujo. I think she was snubbed for this because I think her performance in Cujo was one of the greatest performances in horror cinema / like cinema period. She's another one. She's just in hundreds of other things. She's in The Howling. She's in the original The Hills Have Eyes. Like, she's been doing horror for decades. And she's in Stream, and it's so heartwarming to see her. Danielle Harris is one of the main characters in Stream, and she plays a mother of a teenager, which is crazy to me because her start was in the original Halloween franchise playing Jamie in Halloween 4 and 5. And then my favorite thing that Rob Zombie ever did was cast her in his Halloween remake in 2007 where she played Annie. Like, the fact that she was a kid in the original, like, this is just such a full circle thing. She's also in a bunch of other horror movies, Hatchet 2. She's just a horror queen. And she is quite literally a scream queen. Like, she actually has one of my favorite screams in horror cinema. Jeffrey Combs is also in Stream, and he looks very different now, I think, but he played Herbert West in the iconic Reanimator movies. He's another icon. He's been in a bunch of other horror movies. One of my favorites that I mentioned in my review is Would You Rather? I just love him so much. Alyssa Rose is also in this movie. That's another name that I mentioned, and she is most known for playing Angela in Sleepaway Camp. Bill Moseley is another one of my favorite people ever. If you have ever seen a Rob Zombie movie, I guarantee you've seen Bill Moseley. He most notably, I think, plays Otis Firefly in House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, 3 from Hell. He also plays Chop Top in Texas Chainsaw 2. But he's another one. He literally has like hundreds of horror movie credits under his belt. David Howard Thornton is also in this movie, and he, of course, plays one of my favorites, Art the Clown, icon. Tim Reed from the It miniseries in 1990 is in this movie. And there is another very special person from that same miniseries that has a brief part in this movie, and they will remain nameless.